had a friend in college who was always would take her a long time to get out the door, which my husband would say I'm kind of the same way. So she would give the "I'm preparing to leave"
Kind of.
warning. I'm preparing to leave. We're
We would
preparing to
also
start.
say that.
Okay, we're back, y'all. Hope y'all refreshed your bevies and emptied your bladders and whatever.
Party!
And really a big thanks to you all for coming out. We thank Jen and all the great staff here at the Green Room for holding space, for independent artists. You know, you never kind of know, like, when you go to a town you haven't played in before as a group, if anyone's going to show up. So it means a lot to us that you showed up. And we know that we sold 15 tickets, but there's about maybe 10 or so of you here. So if you're listening along at home, because I know these shows are live streams, if you're listening along at home, welcome. We're so glad that you joined us tonight. It is always sort of weird to be like, oh, I'm on camera back there and over there. It's interesting, but we look good, right? Yeah. Damn, those boots are fly.
We are rocking.
Comedy music, it's all the same thing, right? Let's just keep it light tonight. All right, well, here we're gonna start it off with another toe tapper. This is a song I wrote about a former love of mine. As Sarah likes to say, I wrote this song about a week into meeting this guy. You know, you ask all the questions like, what's your favorite food and what's your favorite color? And I asked, what's your middle name? His name's Nathan. And he said, Daniel, Nathan Daniel. And I was like, oh, that sounds like kind of an old-timey song. And so I wrote this song.
In the past tense.
I was thinking because I was setting it back in time, but, you know, maybe it was sort of a premonition of things to come. He's a good man, so I've got no beef with Nathan Daniel, and this will always be his song, even though he is no longer my partner.
But he has heard this song.
So let's send this out to all of our past loves, shall we? The good ones.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Had a man named Nathan Daniel, and he worked the lumber mill. There was passion in his kisses, and there was passion in his will. He had a lovely daughter, Sweet Violet was her name. And though I was not her mother, I loved her just the same. And I said, oh, Nathan Daniel, saw those timbers down, build me a little house with a mighty tree that's fallen to the ground. Oh, Nathan Daniel, saw those timbers long, and carry me across threshold in your loving arms so strong. Well, Nathan took me dancing down at the county fair. He had shine upon those buttons, and I wore some ribbons in my hair. He spun me to the music, and he held me oh so tight. And when the evening ended, walked me out in the moonlight. And I said, oh, Nathan Daniel, saw those timbers down, build me a little house with a mighty tree that's fallen to the ground. Oh, Nathan Daniel, saw those timbers long, and carry me across threshold in your loving arms so strong. Well, he lived by the ocean, down by the sand and fog. was his blue heeler dog. Well, he fished in the water and he foraged from the land. He said, you never hunger as long as I'm your man. And I said, oh, Nathan Daniels, saw those timbers down. Build me a little house with a mighty tree that's fallen to the ground. Oh, Nathan Daniels, saw those timbers long, and carry me across threshold in your loving arms so strong. Those timbers long, and carry me across the threshold with your loving arms so strong. Thank you for that sweet appreciation.
When you were singing that part about him taking you to the county fair, I had this flashback. This woman gets crazy at the fair.
I used to. That's also in the past tense.
Yep.
Come on, who else hasn't gotten crazy at the rodeo
No
at the
more
county
whiskey
fair?
for you.
All the bulls and the smell of testosterone and the boots and shit. Like, it's just, the whiskey, it just,
Roping, baby.
Oh, what happened
Whiskey and leather. I think that's another song.
Take a note. That was my former self. This self is feeling more calm. I go to the sheepdog trials on Sunday morning. I would never make it to Sunday morning because Saturday night the rodeo was just a freaking mess.
She ain't lying.
Where we live, they have we live in 3 of us live in Anderson Valley, and it's a big sheep herding community.
Well, it's a wine growing place, and the sheep keep the wine vines good because they can't reach the top and they eat all the grass.
And people harvest the wool and so forth, and so people actually train their dogs to herd the sheep out in the hills. And on Sunday morning at the fair, it's actually quite spectacular. It's like the Olympics of animals. Like the grandstands are full, and they take turns with, you got one dog and the handler, and they release 3 sheep, and then the handler has to just use like voice commands or signals, and they have to lead the sheep through these.
And the whole audience
These
is like,
things.
it's packed, and it's just like you could hear a pin drop.
And it's like kind of like a folk crowd. If any of you are folkies, when they get in front of the grandstands, they have to go through the chute, and they never want to go through the chute. And so people get really excited. Everybody's like hanging on every movement, and they start to go through the chute, and everybody's like, ah, and everybody's like, shh, don't startle the sheep. I highly recommend it. It's quite fun. They do
Fun
it
in
in like
Boonville.
Wales and England and so forth, and in Boonville.
It sounds like a perfect Boonville pastime, actually.
What are you also gonna do in Boonville?
Exactly.
Rodeo sheepdog trials. That's kind of it. And there's a great brewery there, we should say, too. The Anderson Valley Brewery. Actually, I'm going to be playing there with my sweetie next week. Okay, well, so back to our regularly scheduled program of feminist folk music. This song is called Hard to Be a Woman. And as the sun was rising, I saw friends on the horizon, and I knew I'd win. It's hard to be a mother when you walk away from your lover, but I got up and tried again. I didn't know I was strong until I walked out of your arms, but I got up and tried again. And it's hard to be a woman when the pains of life keep coming, but I know I'll win. Oh, blessed life, I know I'll be alright, 'cause even on the darkest night, in the morning comes the light. My sister's so brave. She said I ain't gonna be no slave, and she got up and tried again. It was hard to move on. She'd been serving him so long, but she got up and tried again. And it's hard to know for certain when you have to close the curtain on the place you've been. She'll make it even if she has to fake it, 'cause she'll get up and try again. And when she feels afraid, she'll think of the promise that she made to get up and try again. And it's hard to rush and travel as the gifts of life unravel, and she knows she'll win. She'll say, oh, blessed life, I know I'll be alright, 'cause even on the darkest night, in the morning comes the light. Thank you. We recorded that on a previous album, which we don't have with us today, but we do have our newest record that we co-produced with Alex Degrassi. But all of our music is in all of the places, Pandora and Apple Music and Spotify, etc. So Bandcamp. So feel free to check out some of those early recordings. Yeah, Sarah and I have been writing and singing, performing together for about 15 years. So we've gone through all of the rotations of strange life events and fun and adventure and travel, and music has kind of been the common language throughout that, and we just feel really grateful to be getting to do this work. And thank you so much to Rebecca for helping support our sound tonight.
Yeah.
Very grateful for your kind assistance.
All right, this is the title track off of our newest album, Everything's Changed. And I wrote this song. We were traveling